the EPS office in Dublin, and I'm delighted to be joined by Giorgio Ghislotti, who is the VP of Sales for EMEA for the Data Center and Communications Division of Coherent. Giorgio, it's been a few years since you've been with us in Dublin. It's great to have you back. Since you've been here last, there's been a big shift in the industry towards AI. There's been a massive boom in the last few years. Could you talk to us about the impact of the AI boom on Coherent's business today?
Sure. And first of all, thanks for inviting me in beautiful Malahide. It's a pleasure to come here every time, so thanks for that. Yes, sure. The AI boom is having a big impact in Coherent business, in particular for all the components that are meant to support the AI application from scale up, scale out, and interconnecting different data centers. So this is definitely one area that has been growing significantly. Another part that has been impacted in terms of growth and demand is the overall component and technology infrastructure needed to support those components. For example, in the semiconductor portion, in terms of components and equipments, there has been a quick ramp that the company is going through to support and be ready.
And can you tell us about why Coherent's products particularly are so well suited to this sector at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, all our transceiver products and passive components, lasers, are the key building blocks for all the infrastructure that goes into AI. In addition, we have products such as line cards and modules to interconnect different data centers. So that's where our unique capability are allowing us to address this market. In addition, we are vertically integrated, so not only we provide modules but also components, and our vertical integration allows us first to be more flexible in terms of our supply to customer, and secondly to fastly design and implement new products to the market.
And Giorgio, we know that Coherent product-wise have everything from 1 gigabit right up to 1.6 terabit. Can you tell us which specific platforms are most used in the AI environment today?
Yeah, so in the AI environment, 400G has been deployed for long. All the links now then move to 800G, and so the 800G is now in big volume, but 1.6T is ramping up very rapidly, and now is in production to support the increased requirement, right, that are coming for the new GPUs that are installed in the AI data center.
So we've seen how this explosion has affected the world in general and a lot of very big companies in particular, and Coherent has benefited from this explosion, and your customer base has grown. But can you tell us, are there any negative impacts to your business because of the huge uptake in the AI space?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it as a negative impact, because when the market is growing and there are opportunities, this is actually a positive one, of course, but you have some challenges to address. There are many that are going through that are with any ramp up in demand, but more specifically right now, if you take an example, lasers are extremely constrained around the world because they are the sources for all these interconnects, and that has required us to be fast in designing products and releasing products that support this application, and also have the installed capacity in place. So for example, we are ramping up our 6-inch indium phosphide manufacturing fabs, and we are leading in that front. So that's one area where, of course, it is to support, but it requires to execute fast and implement fast to catch up with the demand that is ramping up right now.
Great. And we know Coherent and EPS very well through your optical transceiver portfolio, But can you tell us, are there other product platforms within Coherent that are benefiting from the AI boom at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, there are products that are kind of in continuity with the current transceiver products that are going to support next generation AI platforms. So one example is the CPO product that is going to increase. Imagine that the current transceiver product are now 1.6 terabit. CPO is meant to be 6.4 terabit. And that's one product that is growing and requires not only the co-packaged optic solution, but also some external high power laser. And that's it's going to be the next platform and is going to benefit from this growth. Another area where I meant there is going to be growth is definitely on lasers. That are these high power lasers are the external sources using with the CPO architecture. And a third one that we mention among many of them is the optical circuit switching that are allowing to allow interconnects in the AI infrastructure. And we are offering on that one some unique technology that are more advantageous, we believe, than versus others that are available from our competitors.
And we see the growth in companies like Nvidia at the moment, which are absolutely unbelievable levels of growth, and we see the amount of money being spent in the AI sector at the moment, and it's kind of investment that we probably haven't seen before in this sector. And I think a lot of companies who are involved in the sector, whether they're manufacturers like yourselves or distributors like EPS, the question keeps coming up, is this AI market a bubble? Is there an end to this expansion? What do you think about that, Giorgio? Do you think there's a bubble there?
I mean, we don't believe it's a bubble. Maybe over time some of the demand may moderate and then restart, but all the elements are there that is a sustainable growth, because if you look at the requirements coming from AI, the infrastructure that is needed actually it will be needed even faster. So definitely with the current visibility there is no sign of a bubble, and also the new technologies that are going to be deployed are going to last for longer. And so if you look at the investment that are happening are also in the basic infrastructure, also at the lower level. So we believe this is going to be sustainable, of course, with challenges in the ramp up.
Yeah. We're hearing a lot at the moment about CPO or co-packaged optics. For a distributor like ourselves, who has been very focused on selling optical modules for a long time, we're looking at CPO and trying to understand how it fits into the sector with modules. How do you see the future of optical modules for the next 5 years as opposed to CPO?
Right. I mean, the CPO is to some extent an evolution of the standard optical transceivers. Currently, as I said before, standard optical transceiver now 800G 1.6T. They will actually increase in terms of data rate. CPO is meant to be at 6.4 terabit, and it's going to provide some other advantages versus transceiver. That's why it's been introduced, like improved signal integrity, lower power consumption, and so on. It will require in combination external high power laser combined to it. So this is the evolution that we see. I mean, I think CPO is going to be a kind of an incremental step to support the requirement that are coming from the end user, right, in terms of reducing power consumption and increasing data rate. But also the transceiver themselves will not disappear. They will remain and maintain for the current application and the new one with higher data rate.
So you still see a strong future for optical modules alongside co-packaged optics?
Yeah, I think they will coexist. I don't think one will cannibalize the other. And also in the CPO type of solution, there will be more options coming up, like what is called NPO solutions. So definitely there is a strong activities to evaluate new technology, introduce them to the market quickly.
And Giorgio, power density is a term we keep hearing about in relation to AI data centers. We hear about it in terms of utility companies trying to provide enough power to keep these data centers going. Then we hear the data centers themselves talking about their need to use less power.
Yeah.
How do you see the innovations in CPO? How do you see that they're going to help customers reduce their energy footprint for these high-speed interconnects?
Yeah. I mean, I covered partially in the question, in the answer before. The CPO is basically allowing to put the module closer to the ASIC. This will improve signal integrity from a performance standpoint, but it will allow also to by removing the high power laser is going to be reducing power consumption. So that's one of the big advantages of CPO that is being added. Since we're talking about power consumption, one other topic I didn't cover so far, but I think is worth mentioning, is that you're right, power consumption increasing, thermal handling becoming more critical. So as Coherent, we have unique solution for thermal cooling that are based on some proprietary technologies that we can offer that could replace like the copper-based solution. So not only the optical modules that we provide are enabling this reduction in power consumption, but also on the cooling side, we are offering some unique technology that we are partnering that we believe that could bring some advantage in terms of improving, right, the cooling of the entire say data center, thanks to what we can offer. So we are working both on the optics we provide, but also on the side technology that Coherent owns.
Sure. It was in the news recently, Giorgio, that Nvidia has invested $2 billion into Coherent, and some of your competitors as well. Congratulations on the investment. What do they expect to gain from these technology partnerships that they invest in?
Yeah, I think there are many aspects in this long-term partnership. The first one is the supply resilience. I mean, there is a worldwide shortage of components because this steep ramp, right, is causing shortages. So first of all is to guarantee supply resilience, and Coherent has been seen as a key supplier. But as another point, and not actually probably even more important, is more to guarantee a kind of long-term technology partnership. So for Coherent to be able to develop, not only to support the current product Nvidia needs, but also to co-develop with them the new technologies that are not only related to optical transceivers, but also to passive optics that are becoming more and more critical in this increased and more dense interconnect solutions. So these are the two aspects that are been driving this partnership with Nvidia that, of course, the company is very proud of.
We've seen the arrival of 1.6 terabit. Where do you see the market going over the next 3 years in terms of link speeds?
Again, as I said, the transceiver data rate is going to increase, right? There are higher data rate, doubling the data rate, and is going to be the CPO is going to bring this extra step to 6.4 plus the other benefit I mentioned before. So definitely we see the future for the transceiver related applications because again, all the links are going to move more and more on optical also, that people now are thinking about moving away from copper. The need of more optics in the data center is going to increase, not to reduce. So we see the future for that quite bright.
Great. And Giorgio, we've talked about the macro side of the market, and we've talked about the giant tier one customers who are at the forefront of these developments. How is Coherent evolving its distribution and partner network to ensure a reliable supply of high-end optics in a market that currently feels sold out maybe for the next 12 months?
Right. Again, I don't think it's an either-or solution. I mean, we are trying to work with partners that have been partner of ours for long, like EPS has been for 25 years plus. So and thanks to the experience we have and our manufacturing flexibility, also managing the internal supply, we try to manage also the need for all customers to avoid the fair allocation of the business, and for distribution partners like you, we try, right, to work together to put it. It's not going to be easy because everybody is in a constrained situation, but certainly the experience we have on both sides, I think, will help to manage and navigate through this demand. Definitely our plan is not to penalize the partners, it's actually to grow together, not to limit.
Great. We've talked a lot about the high-end products. Where do you see the future for Coherent's legacy products, the slower speed products?
Again, this is not a new aspect that has been there forever, actually, right? There is always a kind of a life cycle for the product that you need to introduce new product, and as a result the legacy product get less use, and so you need to manage to discontinue them because the demand is lower, and also on every side, I mean, also the profitability. So we need to we will keep doing what we have been doing, so to manage proactively with customer, communicate our long-term roadmap, manage the replacement parts that are coming in, and try to guarantee a smooth transition. So far, we've been able to manage those transitions relatively well, and so all the customers remain with us, even in the kind of this periodic, transition from one data rate to another, from one form factor to another. So this is going to remain the same approach we have used so far, although the times are challenging, but it won't change the strategy of discontinuing product as they become obsolete or not needed by the market.
Yeah. So Giorgio, I would like to say I really appreciate you coming to visit us in Dublin. It's good to see you again after a few years. You're always welcome here, and we appreciate the opportunity to twist your arm to make sure that we get some of these products and that you're building at the moment as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting. It was a pleasure, and I twist your arm, so that's a guarantee that EPS will get the support that you need.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.